Southeast.
Faith Time is our weekly conversation on matters of faith. Churches are often an important part of the community where they're located. We're talking with the pastor of Outbreak Ministries in Mobile, Bryant Pugh. First question for him is, what role should a church play in a community?
Chapter 5 of Matthew teaches that we are the light of the world. It also says that we are the salt of the earth. So in my opinion, I believe the church in and of itself should be the standard by which a community moves. It says that we are the salt of the earth. And if the salt loses its flavor, how else will the earth be salted? So I think we should be that standard.
So what do you think happens first? Does a community form around a church, or does a church form around a community?
That's a good question. I think it's a perfect mixture of both. I believe first, a church should work to establish the voice that is God-given for that house. And once that voice is established for the house, then you will find that not only will those that are called to that voice be naturally gravitated towards you, you can also find the avenue by which God has given you that voice in order to best affect your community.
What can a congregation do when, say, demographics change and the congregation is different from the community that may surround it?
I think first, Chad, we need to be really honest about the current situation. I think if we're going to affect change in any way, we have to be honest about where we are. Then I think you need to make a conscious effort to reach across the aisle to gain understanding and to gain further knowledge on how you can effectively develop a strategy to be effective in your community.
How does a church become more a part of its community?
I really think by the way that Jesus did it. If you study the life of Jesus in his 3-year ministry, you'll see that anytime he came into a place, most times he healed it before he changed it. I think too often as churches, we want to change things before we find the need. So it's good to, like I said earlier, get out into the community, find out what the community needs, fill that void, and then you can start to develop around that.
Give me some examples of community outreach efforts that you find to be most effective.
Really, it's according to your area, but here in our community, we have a strong presence of things like homeless. We have a strong presence of people that are less fortunate. So what we try to do is, once, like I said earlier, we try to strategize, find the needs of the people, and we just try to fit in where we fit in, if that makes any sense. We do a lot of feeding of the homeless. We do a lot of giving. We have programs here for homeless people that may not have, proper documents to get jobs and things like that. We have a program that they can go through in order to gain that type of status. So it's not just about giving people a quick fix. It's about making people whole.
That's the pastor of Outbreak Ministries in Mobile, Bryant Pugh. We thank him for joining us for this edition of Faith Time. And News 5 this morning will continue after the break.